In a special medical report, firefighters put their lives on the line every day. It is a dangerous job, and tragically, line-of-duty deaths happen. As Mindy Becerra reports, many of these deaths have nothing to do with the fire, and according to a national fire safety consultant, they could and should be prevented.
The job of a firefighter: honorable, physically taxing, mentally challenging, dangerous. On May 12, 2025, Baltimore City Fire Lieutenant Mark Dranbauer suffered a fatal medical emergency while battling this downtown row home fire. It wasn't the fire that killed him. He died of cardiac arrest. Just days later, Baltimore City Fire Emergency Vehicle operator Charles Mudra passed away during a training exercise. He, too, had a heart attack.
And every year, over 50% of our line-of-duty deaths are directly linked to cardiovascular incidents.
Dan Shaw fought fires for decades, is the retired assistant chief of operations in Fairfax County, Virginia, and is now a public safety consultant. He describes the intense pressure on a firefighter's body.
They get dispatched for a house fire. It's typically in the middle of the night. So they're probably asleep, so they go from a resting heart rate. They're woken by a loud bell and gong. So they're now the resting heart rate's maximum heart rate. And they're going to perform that job in 80 to 90 pounds of gear in a superheated environment that's highly stressful and chaotic. That might be somewhere between 1,000 to 1,600 degrees for 20 plus minutes. And then we're surprised that cardiovascular deaths are a leading cause of death.
So what protections are in place for firefighters? Shaw says the National Fire Protection Association, NFPA, provides codes and standards for fire departments. One of those standards
directly mandates that we should do physicals every year.
But it's what's called a consensus standard. It's not a federal regulation, so jurisdictions aren't forced to comply. Baltimore City is one that does not.
Is there a health and wellness program in this department?
No.
Matt Koster is president of the International Association of Firefighters, Local 734. He says Baltimore City does not provide any physical or mental health support to firefighters, not even a yearly physical, which is not only directed by the NFPA, it is in their union contract.
The city doesn't want to do it because it costs too much money.
So what is your reaction to that?
It's very disappointing, you know, when we have something written in our collective bargaining agreement that both parties agree to.
Do you fear that there are going to be more line-of-duty deaths?
It could, yes. I feel that every time I hear Ron come out.
Josh Fannin is president of Fire Officers Union Local 964.
We as a local union have tried to do a lot of different things to spotlight firefighter health and wellness.
Fannin says his union sponsors things like cancer screenings and peer fitness training, but feels the city needs to make an investment.
The reality is, if you were addressing all of these health issues proactively, a lot of different costs are going to go down. Long-term health insurance costs are going to go down. Workers' comp costs are going to go down. Sick time's going to go down.
But Shaw says union members themselves can sometimes be an obstacle.
The union will say, in some aspects, if we have never had physicals ever, and now you're going to start doing physicals, which means we're going to have people who are going to fail their physicals, what are you going to do with those people?
Shaw says it's important to make a health and wellness program that's non-punitive. That's the case at Shaw's former department, Fairfax County, which hasn't had an operational firefighter line-of-duty death in 30 years. Their program features a world-renowned health and wellness center.
When the brand new headquarters was opened in 2015, now we have a 12,500 square foot occupational health center dedicated to supporting public safety. So we're taking care of the mind, body, and spirit all together.
This center provides both mental and occupational health support with its own providers who understand the unique needs of first responders.
We have 5 providers on staff. We have 8 nurses. And we take care of about 5,000 public safety employees.
At this center, public safety employees can get a host of services from mental health treatment to lung screenings and stress tests. They can see a certified dietitian or work out. But the main gym is at a separate location. It's called WellFit.
Just a few years ago, this warehouse space was pretty bare bones. And now when you look around, it is pretty well top-notch. It's known internationally as a premier center for firefighters and law enforcement officers.
This firefighter paramedic is working to come back from ACL surgery.
I'm so fortunate. not only do I still have a job, they've done above and beyond to get me in a location that's going to most benefit my current position.
So you can get back to work.
Exactly.
The return on the investment, the value back on that investment there's magnitude we don't even figure out how to measure yet.
For Dan Shaw, the bottom line is this.
So the majority of deaths that we see when firefighters get killed in line of duty death are preventable.
And says something as simple as a yearly physical is the first step in protecting the people who protect us all. Mindy Becerra, WBAL TV 11 News.
Mindy, thank you. In response to our questions, Baltimore City Fire Chief James Wallace released a statement that reads in part, "The health and well-being of our BCFD members have always been and will continue to be a top priority," adding, "We are proud of our strong partnership with Under Armour, which helped us install new fitness facilities and stations where space is allowed and offer free access to FXUA gyms throughout Baltimore City. In addition, we have made voluntary physicals available to members without mandate or contractual requirement because we believe in supporting their long-term health." Both union presidents tell WBAL TV 11 News investigates they know nothing about those voluntary physicals, but are looking forward to working with the department on health and safety issues.